Greetings, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us on another episode of The Corner Seat. In case you're new here, hi, I'm your host, Rozitta. Now, today we are doing a season finale. This is the last episode of this season where we've been dealing with businesses, entrepreneurship, and finances. And I'm so excited because on today's episode, we are going to do a sum up of the basics of running and having a successful business. With me today on set is one of the directors here at Origin Coffee House. He's also a business coach, and above all, he is also an entrepreneur. His name is James Mokaya, and I'm pleased to introduce you to him. Thank you so much for joining me today at the Corner 6.
Oh, thank you so much. Pleasure is mine.
How does it feel to be here?
The city is hot. I'm sweating.
Really?
I'm not used to the cameras.
You'll have to get used to this. Okay. You know, this is the direction we are going into. Everywhere cameras, you know.
I love to embrace.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
So we can begin by you introducing yourself to our audience the way you want them to know you as. Yeah.
What I am, I'm a hotelier first. At heart, an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And a business mentor, both to businesses and individuals.
Awesome.
In a basic nutshell. Yes.
For how long have you been doing this?
Wow. I have been doing this close to 20 years now.
20 years experience.
It's been a journey, trust me, it's been a journey. It's been a journey all the way, right from very humble beginnings to where I am today. I'm still growing. So I'm deeply still humble to be in the industry and keep on mentoring other people.
Okay.
Yes.
Let me ask you, before we delve into the topic of the day, what is that one thing you've noticed so much about businesses that you've been coaching and mentoring? What is the one thing you can say outrightly, this made this business to succeed?
Success is a very relative number. Success to you, success to me is not the same. There are people who open businesses for the sake of just achieving a dream. There are people who open business for the purposes of money. There are those who open businesses for the sake of getting to get known outside there for fame and the rest. So for me, success is a very relative name. But I can tell you, bottom line is achieving what you had planned. It's as simple as that.
Okay.
To put in a nutshell, whatever you had planned to get to at the end, that is the most important.
Amazing.
Yes.
What is a business plan?
Wow. A business plan is, like the word clearly states, it's first a document. And then when I say a document, to put it clearly, it must be written down. A business plan is not something you put out there in the moon. No.
It's not something in your head.
Exactly. A business plan is a document. So you must write it or type it. Like you said, I embrace technology. You must write it down. It's a business of set objectives or goals that you have, that an individual or a group, whoever is involved in the business, that plan to achieve. It's as simple as that. It's nothing much more complicated. But it must be written down.
And why is it so important anyway? I mean, it's just a document, and I can run a business without a document. I mean, so why is it so important to have a business plan?
Well, the main role of a business plan is first actually getting the dream on a certain roadmap. You know, if you're living from Nakuru to Nairobi, you will go through Naivasha, or you will pass through Gilgil, Naivasha, Kinungi. It's a roadmap. So when you say it's a roadmap, it's like a map. You're traveling here to Nairobi, so you have to pass some few stages here and there. You must write them down for you to be able to know, am I really at Naivasha? What are the landmarks in Naivasha? So basically what it is the main importance of it, it enables to tell you where do you need to be in the near future. Because remember, you are planning for a forthcoming future. So basically, in a nutshell, that is what it does.
Do you think there is anything I can lose without it?
Yes, there is a lot to lose. Problem is nowadays is resources are scarce. So you have a lot to lose from time, financial investments. People have lost families because of focusing too much on business. A business plan also guides you. How much time do I need to balance between family, work? It tells you the number of hours you need to work. I mean, it gives you a defined goal and a roadmap of what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
There's quite a lot to lose: money, family, time. I mean, and time is one of the most expensive resources. It's
True.
really not the millions you actually put into the business, but it is actually you manage the resources which you have at hand.
Yeah.
Yes.
And how do you write it? Now that I know it's important, I've never written one, and what's the first thing I need to know about writing it? How do I get into writing the business plan?
Well, the business plan, depending on how and which school of thought you're coming from, has, let me put it clearly, it has a few stages or a few landmarks which you have to go through. Like I've told you, it's a very basic roadmap. One of the most important things in a business plan is you have to introduce. You know, you can't just come and say, you know, right now you've just introduced me. So you have to introduce what is the business plan about. So when somebody reads it at first, because remember, it's something you need to present to yourself, to other people, for people to be understand what you're doing. So it needs to have a stages. But in general, worldwide, what we say normally has an introduction. It's what we call an executive summary. So it gives you, in very few words, it gives you an idea. Konasit, if it has a business plan, what is Konasit about? It is about showing people about how to run businesses, about how to have emotions on something. It gives somebody a very brief summary. So if I am interested in the idea, I take it on cue. If the business plan is about drilling oil, if I have no interest in oil, I won't even get to the second stage. So that's one of the main components. Then again, you need to, there's a lot of that has to go into research. So you will need to do, has a section on research. So it's like much more of a thesis you're doing. You're trying to test the product. There's a section also that, but I've told you, there's no right and wrong, but it depends on where you're coming from, the setup, and also the school of thought. You also have a section that deals with market segmentation. You have to have a target audience. Who
am I trying to?
Who are you trying to target? Is it the elderly? Is it 18? Is it 25? Is it people in the city? Is it people? You have to have some form of target market that you're looking at. Then again, you have a section that basically deals with your resources. How are you be able to manage them? The investments. You will have some form of, like I've told you, you will get to a point to get to do research. It will get to tell you some numbers. You want to open a restaurant. You need some form of space. 5 square feet. Is it enough for your seats? Is it a takeaway business? It is able to guide you on what things you need to put in. Then again, you come to a point that deals with financials, financial projections. You need to have the numbers. How much are you planning to invest first? Do you have the money? If you don't have the money, you need to look for the money. So you will need to manage and tell people, you're investing 10 shillings. 10 shillings, 5 shillings is going to be allocated to this function. 3 shillings is going to be allocated to this function. So basically that gives you a basic guidance on how and plan. Because again, you need to have those skilled timelines for you to be able to learn to achieve those milestones within your plan. So it is basically a staged document that handles an introduction, target market, financial projections, and basically you're able to have an all-round document at the end.
Don't you think it can almost limit you in some way, in terms of you've like drawn your boundaries that this is where I just want my business to get to? Do you think it can limit you? Because it can't.
Funny thing, no. What the business plan, actually the business plan is meant to be adjusted at certain periods.
Oh, so it's adjustable.
Yes.
Okay. I thought it's like something you write today and that's it.
No. It's actually a living document idea.
Okay.
So as the business also grows, it's like, let's say you had projections. You are planning every year you're going to be selling 3 million shillings. The business environment comes. COVID hits. So you are no longer able to deliver to, let's say the restaurant is closed. So what other strategies? So that your revenue is going to go down. So you change and you focus on delivery. So it's a living document that you keep on changing, objectives change, you have to keep on adjusting well over time.
So it's something that basically guides you as you're beginning?
Yes.
Okay. Exactly. And what pitfalls should people beware of in this stage of writing a business plan?
Oh, I love numbers. One of the greatest challenges that, especially with projections, we tend to how put it in the right words. We drink too much. It's like living on a castle. You can't just open a business and you start selling 50 million. People overestimate. At times people also underestimate. What I'm saying, you need to be realistic. So you can't plan a business worth 50 million and you only have 20 shillings. Yeah. So we need to be realistic. Is it possible? Some of the other pitfalls that we get at times, there is hype. Because what happens with hype is we get to do things because we are going towards just running towards a certain movement or trying just to move with the flow. That's another challenge that we get. Also, you get one of the pitfalls is, again, once you don't, like I told you, it's a document. It needs to be written down. You can't have a business plan in your mind. Forget. That doesn't work. Our minds are not like a flash record memory that you set and it can fit. We forget things, and we need to remind ourselves. So those are some of the classic challenges and pitfalls that people get.
Oh, okay. Yes. So before we go into a break, let me give you this scenario where we have two business people who want to start a business, and person A doesn't have a business plan, and person B has a business plan. In 5 years, what is the biggest difference that we will note between these two business owners?
Like the name suggests, it's a plan. I've been taught over and over again, and you see, experience teaches you. I was taught one thing by some of my mentors. Lack of planning is planning to fail. It's something I've experienced personally. I have also seen through some of the businesses that I've been. There are those who will come, James, please write a very nice business plan for us. Then again, they don't actualize it.
They don't actualize.
So bottom line is, it assists you to plan, assess, which is very critical. So a business with a business plan has the advantage of having a clear goal. A business without. Oh, thank you.
So this is the hurricane glass. Okay. Why is it called hurricane though? I thought it's going to come in the shape of a hurricane or something. I don't know. This is mine.
There's a hurricane glass. There's a vortex. There's a lot of it in the naming of glasses. Each and every glass by in the hotel industry has a name. Each and every equipment.
Thank you. So if I go to a shop and say I want a hurricane glass, this is what I'll get?
That's definitely what you get.
Interesting.
It comes in a little bit of shapes and variations, but that's a standard.
Okay.
Yes.
You were saying?
Okay. So like I told you, one business with, one business without. It's much more like you enter, you don't know the road to Mombasa. You don't have a map. You see, you need to know Mombasa is east, west, south. You can't just say you're driving to Mombasa, do you know you're turning left or right? That's the importance of a map. It's a road map, basically. So a business with has higher chances of getting to achieve the goals that they had planned at the start. A business without is basically driving without,
like, depending on fate.
Exactly. You're just waking up, you see, like those people say, my dad or my mom were very good at doing something. So that's just the reality. You are basically gambling with faith here. You're gambling with faith. But yes, we believe in things get to happen, people get into plan. But those who plan are able to plan. There's no guarantee in business you're going to make a profit. But there's what we call in business a calculated risk.
A calculated risk.
Yes. Now, yes, there is a chance of failure, yes. But you have given mitigating factors that are able to cover you. Even if the first, let's say for example, you have 10 shillings to manage. You say you're not going to invest the entire 10 shillings. You're going to start with 6 shillings. Then as the business grows, you get to add the rest of the 4 shillings in small plans. But you see, if you don't have a plan, at what stage do you get to? At what stage do you analyze? Are you making something? Are you in this for just the name? the fame and the rest. Why are you really doing this? It's actually something that's able to self-assess yourself. Why are we doing this?
You introspect yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's basically in business. There's something we call the 5 whys.
The 5 whys.
The 5 whys of doing anything. It's not just business. It's anything. There is definitely what you deal with time. Yeah. When. Where, how, then who. We want to start a restaurant business. We partner with you. So who are your guests? Who are your suppliers? How do you choose it Mama Mboga X which is going to supply? So there's a lot you have to look at. At what stage? How are you going to produce the cup of
this is hazelnut.
Yes.
Hazelnut latte.
Exactly.
I'm getting the name.
You see, the beauty of it is it gives you, it answers, asks very tough questions. How?
Okay.
When? When are you going to shoot corner seat?
Yeah.
At what juncture? How are you going to edit it? When are you going to upload your video? You see, those are very critical questions which you can't answer half and half. You have to be very focused so that you're able to.
Awesome. Amazing.
Yes.
Wow. We have barely scratched the surface, but I think we'll take a short break so that we can sip.
Yes.
You can sip on your mocktail.
Oh my.
And I can have a taste of my hazelnut latte. So, lady or gentleman, we'll be back after the short break. Be sure to stay tuned and keep enjoying. Thank you. We are back, lady or gentleman. Thank you so much for keeping it at the corner seats. Today we've been learning so much, and I believe in the first part there was a lot of notes to be taken by you, and trust me, we are about to go deeper. So thank you so much, James, for your time. Thank you for your company. I'm really learning a lot, actually, and I appreciate you for your time.
Learning too how to shoot.
You're learning. I'm teaching you stuff.
Yes.
So here we are. We've written a business plan.
Yes.
What's next?
This is basically now actualization of the business plan. You have the document, it's ready. There are a number of reasons first why the business plan is written.
Yeah.
You can do a business plan basically just for planning purposes.
Yeah.
One of the other reasons that we do is because of funding. Remember, when you want a loan from the bank will ask you and go up, and get a business plan. One of the reasons why people don't get funding, even basic funding that they would just be have a great opportunity of getting, is because they don't have a business plan. A business plan is tedious, let's be honest. It's a very technical document.
Yes.
But again, it's not technical as such. There's a reason why financial institutions look for it. Even if it's not financial institution, you want your mom or dad to support you with an idea. They will ask you,
for what?
For what? How are you planning to use the resources? You want to open a kinyozi. What do you require? Why do you need to do it? I mean, there's so many other reasons. So you need to get funding. It's critical. Whether it's from your own savings, whether it's from joint investors or what we call a business venture capitalists, because you want to invest in a project worth 5-6 million or 30 million. 30 million is not money you just walk in and get. And even if anyone were to give you 30 million, you need to tell them how you're going to take their money back. So funding is one of the other critical ideas. Then actualization is getting to hit the ground. Business plan is there, you've gotten the funding, then where are the rest? Remember I spoke about something called market research. You have to go to the ground. Is the idea viable? The business plan clearly tells you, is it viable or not? Because you've done your market research, are there clientele? You want to create, I don't know, a milkshake glass. Do people take milkshake in Kenya in the first place? Yeah, fine. The milkshake is taken in China. How are you planning to get your goods from Kenya to China?
Yeah.
I mean, it tells you, it creates a process, and that's how I told you the 5 whys need to be asked. Very tough questions, but that's the reality of doing things. So that's one of the major things. When you get your funding, then you hit the road, then you start now implementing. You have to get a business location. Remember, business location nowadays is not ideally a physical space. We are dealing in an age where we are online. So do you operate at home? Do you operate in a store, a warehouse, a garage? A kinyozi is in a certain location. So you go to the 4 P's of marketing. You start now getting to know place, price. These are small things. The reality now starts to hit. The idea wasn't viable. Then you stop. You had looked for. You see now where viability comes now in. It clearly brings out the realities of. It's just a kinyozi. You can't just set a kinyozi in a basement floor where there is no people passing. Remember, people will come. Me, when I go to a barber shop, at times one option is I've seen one, or another option is I'm recommended to. So if there's nobody to get into the place even at the first, Rozitta won't even recommend the place. Exactly. So actualizing is it's a process on its own, from the funding, the location, getting the required approvals, licenses, as basic as they are. Then you get legal. Then you get also to manage the finances, bookkeeping, basic bookkeeping. I mean, this is now it actually gets now real. You're going to sell potatoes worth 200 shillings. Where do you get your kasuku ondo for measuring? Are you going to sell by kgs? Are you going to sell? Do people in a town buy by kg, or they buy by the small parts? I mean, things come in. What do you need? You see, the document clearly tells you and answers sequential questions which must be addressed. Yes.
So it's like, if you give me that document, I'll absolutely understand what your business is going to be about.
Exactly. It's a 360 degree from whichever angle. If it's finances, if it's marketing, if it's the investments you plan to put in, if it's your cash flows. Remember, a bank, we say there's something the government keeps on saying, and the banking sector keeps on saying. Most of the people or the population is not bankable. It's not that you're not bankable. Even people with money. The reason why you're told are not bankable, you have not placed yourself within the right documentation or the right processes for you to be within, because they require you to work within a certain limitation. But again, the world is changing. The banks are getting a run for their money. The apps, Akina Branch, Akina the rest, they're actually getting these opportunities because what the bank was not adjusting to, they came and covered that gap. So you see, the business plan, somebody saw a gap. Banks are inflexible in one way or another. Now the money lenders came in, the opportunity came in. So you see, they also needed to do a business plan. How are you going to disperse this money? So I mean, it gives you solid direction on how to be able to implement things.
And what's the greatest mistake that most people do in that stage of actualization?
Wow. Time is important. Like I told you, time is one of the greatest resource. You must have a timeline of how you plan to achieve things. So management of time is critical. Management of resources is critical. And then there's also one of the greatest things, which is excitement. It has happened to me, and I talk of practically. Oh, many things.
Please.
I love entrepreneurship, and when I tell you, I have tried almost everything: selling bikes, selling potatoes, opening fish and chips, becoming a mechanic. This everything I've tried. Some of them failed purely not because I was very passionate about entrepreneurship, but one of the things I used to do, excitement at spreading myself too thin. You have 100,000 shillings. You want to get that into 5 or 10 business ideas. You will spread yourself thin so that the effectiveness is so little. You put 20,000 in a kinyozi, 30,000 in this, 40,000. At times you need to do what is called amalgamation in business. Amalgamation is basically bringing your resources into one thing, or decide, do 2 things and do them well. Or do 3 and limit yourself, and also assess yourself. What are your weaknesses? Everybody has. So these are also things that you need to do what's called a risk assessment. you love fashion.
Yeah.
You've never gone to a fashion school. You've never even applied makeup.
Yeah.
The people who don't even know how to buy a trouser. There's a size 32. These are things we came to learn a little bit later in life.
Yeah.
There's an importance of. So you can't have a fashion shop and you have no clue of sizes. So those are some of the classic mistakes. Yeah, it is excitement. There is also lack of planning of finances. You have a business plan, but you've not actualized where you're going to get your funding. Who is financing you? Are you financing yourself? Are you getting finances from other people? One of the other beautiful things also about business plan is it tells you at what stage do you go. You can actually do a business plan and shelve it, ready for implementation 2 or 3 years down the line. That's the beauty of it. You can have even 3 stages and then choose at what point and at what timing are you able to execute it. Yeah.
So say I want to open a beauty shop.
Yes.
And I want to do people's nails. That's all on a business plan. And I've already gotten a location. I know I'm targeting, let's say, the high-end clients.
Yes.
I have them already business equal, where let's say equal Runda,
Yes.
somewhere I can get those clients.
Yes.
Now from there, how do I establish myself? How do I make sure that this business will survive the next 5-10 years from now?
The business plan just does that for you. Because the business plan, number one, works on a timeline. Unestimated, because there's a part of financials that we call projections. You have from your profit and loss projections that you're able to do over a period of time. Normally the rule is you have to do your annual, the first is the first 12 months. Then you downscale it and you go to the next 3 years. And then now you have a 5-year plan. So you have your short term, you have your mid term, and you have your long term plans. Clearly set out. So what are your short term goals? To be able probably to sensitize the people with nails. This is what I do free nails, I don't know, at 20 or 50%, or do a hairdo and then get a free nail. I mean, there are many ideas you can be able to implement. Now, timeline again, and the projections clearly tell you how and at what point. Let's say, for example, once you reach sales of X, this is what you're going to start to plan. I mean, it clearly tells you milestones. So, I mean, you are able to practically see the business grow. And then the assessment part of it, after the first 12 months of operation, what next? Year number 2, what was your plan? Was your growth target at 10%? So, like I told you at times, let's not build castles in the air. Business doesn't just out of the blues, unless those fancy. Remember these stories we were having, people keeping quail eggs, people were selling, what are they? Even recently in COVID, people were doing, I remember the first mask I bought, 250 shillings. Now a mask is 5 shillings, gone down. But you see the opportunity. So the things, somebody quickly just does a business plan, chap, go to China, get these things before they've come, sell them at, that's called what is called the pioneer's edge. Because the need was there, the demand was so high. It is not something long-lived. The people who do business plans it's called a one-hit wonder. You hit, make your money, and you go. So you can still do a business plan for that. So it's short-term. You can have mid-term. You can have long-term. So opportunities are there and they are endless. Yes.
So all you have to do is make sure you are maximizing opportunities that come for your business.
Exactly.
Amazing.
And you keep on assessing them. You see, the thing with the business plan, it also assists. See, you want to do the beauty shop, the nails. That is your area of focus, and that's where you don't want to get. The people who don't want to diversify. So at times, another opportunity comes. Do I take this extra profit I've been making? Do I open a taxi business? You see, these are the things that guide you. It also guides you. You have a 5-year plan. I want to be the best supplier of nails over this region. If it's Runda, if it's Kileleshwa, if it's Nakuru, if it's Milimani, if it's wherever. So it gives you a guideline and it guides you, and it also limits you. The thing is, it's not ideally limiting you. It gives you that general roadmap. Nairobi to Mombasa is south-west, let's say, for example. You don't just find yourself driving to northern side. So at least it keeps you within, even as other opportunities come in, you keep on adjusting the business plan, because the business grows. Opportunity comes inside the initial opportunity you have.
There are those for unforeseen opportunities.
Exactly.
Okay.
Who knew that COVID would come and we would have curfew?
Yeah.
You can't operate some things at night.
Yeah.
So if your business was only at night, do you stop the business? Reevaluate.
You need to think.
So how do we operate during the day?
Yeah.
Do I have riders? Do I increase my sales? You see, you go back to the business plan. Now this is not possible, and this is where we were supposed to get our revenue. So what other opportunity exists? If doing the nails, now you're only doing the bahat, can you basically ride a bike and go to the clients?
Yeah.
Because all the time, probably, we wait for the clientele to come to the salon.
Yeah.
Can you change the strategy and basically now go to them? Just get a boda rider, get dropped there, or on the back seat of your car. Have your nail kit, I don't know what and those things.
Yeah.
Do a shot on site, do a free photo shoot for every. I mean, you need to become innovative to be able to get outside. Yes.
Say Origin Coffee House. What is that one thing that you can say Origin has been very innovative about that's making Origin Coffee House the place that it is right now?
I'll tell you, one thing I've learned in my career, it's the people.
People.
Forget. It is the people in the business. And when I say people, number one, it is your human resource capacity. Yeah. Your staff, they mean everything. Even if you're a sole proprietor and running the business alone, you yourself, you're the greatest investment. So that's one very critical thing. Innovation is, to put it correctly in the people, you need to encourage and motivate people to be the best they can be. At times, don't limit people too much. Let people become a little bit crazy. I always advocate. Let them do crazy stuff. If it's flipping a pan, if that is what is going to make it interesting. I normally make a joke with our team every day. If you're able to flip or serve the cappuccino upside down, defy the laws of gravity, that is innovation. Think about every day, how can I be better? Because once, if you do not get out of your comfort seat, you will never grow. And that's how we basically are able to grow. Basically, innovation is let people be what they can be at the best time of their lives.
Okay.
Yes.
You've been doing this for 20 years, you've mentored big brands, and I'm curious to know what is that one thing you can advise a beginner right now and tell them if you do this, if you walk down this road, you are going to make it.
Be realistic.
Be realistic.
I told you myself, I've been through the road over and over again. I used to run my self-team, do very many beautiful things. Everything I touch, James, it's good, but you can't do 1,000,001 things. The things you need to leave others to do. So ideally is start small, grow, have a plan, and then work through people. You can never work alone. And then one thing I've also learned, mentorship is key. Even me myself, however much people come to me, I have mentors myself, believe it or not. People who I have to call, I'm having challenge number 1, number 2, number 3. What do I do? They're able to look at things from a different perspective. So even me myself, I still pull energy and inspiration from others. So the same, give it out. So start small, be realistic, watch. Then be flexible, be, like I'm told you, be innovative. When one door closes, figure out how another can be able to open. Because we are living in an age where the phone, I remember, those Sagens when they started and everything, and the Nokia 33s. Right now, people are carrying technology in a very small thing that's able to project, able to take photos, able to do everything. Like, I mean, even yourself, the package, those 20 years ago when we were watching KBC and everything, cameras were this big. Now the camera is something so minute. So these are things that we sit and we look at and start small, be realistic, and work with what you have. And then also have a dream. And the dream takes quite some time. Even the big brands, they've taken time to grow. So like I told you, time is one of the greatest resources. Learn to manage it perfectly, you are good to go.
Amazing.
Yes.
Amazing. So as we come to the end of the show, I would love for you to share, I know you can't share everything about Origin, but tell us, what is that one thing apart from investing and empowering your team? What is that other thing that has brought you this far so good, that's making people from Nairobi to say, kwa nini Origin haiko Nairobi? You know, what is that one thing?
Wow. What is the most unique thing? As the name of the brand suggests, Origin Coffee. We are original. And we live to it. Everything we do, even when we want to change anything, are we original? Do we live up to the originality of everything that we do? Yeah. And one thing that stands out is, I normally tell people, anybody can do brick and mortar. Anybody can build. But if you can put heart into it, that is the one thing that we put into this. How we make the coffee, we put heart into it. When we make that Chinese meal, when we make that kuku kienyeji, we put heart into it. It's not about just making meals. We want to put heart into it. Heart and soul, real heart and soul into it. When we greet our guests, we put heart into it.
That's so true.
And we reevaluate every day. Are we really giving love to our guests? Are we really doing it? If it's a chef doing his flipping, his flambe, if it's our barista doing his coffees, is he doing from the heart? Is he growing internally? Is he getting better? Yeah, because you say, if you come into Origin, you must live better.
Yeah. Okay.
And we always look at, there's no living. Once you come in, it is staying along with the job. Yeah, and that is our dream. Yes.
Amazing.
Exactly.
Thank you so much. I've learned a lot.
Oh, myself too.
I feel so challenged. I'll definitely implement a lot of what you've shared today. So thank you so much for your time. And as usual, I'm so grateful that Corner Seat gets to be hosted at Origin Coffee House.
Any day. We are very proud to have mentored Corner Seat. And it's one of the things that we do. For us, like keep on saying, is the origin of good things.
Awesome.
Yes.
Amazing.
Fantastic.
Ladies or gentlemen, we have come to the end of today's episode. This was the finale. Remember, I believe it has been the cherry on the top of the ice cream of this season, and I'm so grateful that you've stuck with us and you've kept watching. And trust me, the next season we are taking it higher. So be sure to keep coming back for more, and we are all about healthy and wealthy conversations. Until the next season, I'm your host Rozitta. Bye guys.